So today we've had some questions from you guys, we've had some struggles, you've shared with us your difficulties. There are a couple in common, there are a couple of more unique ones, and there are a couple of people who sent me a video they're full. But we're going to be going into some of those struggles. And the first one, this is one that me and Omid have both dealt with as well, quite a bit this year, and I think a lot of you watching will have dealt with, and that's having to train outside. Your gym's closed, you got to train outside. It wasn't that big a problem in the summer or in the spring, but now it's the winter. What do you do? How do you progress? I saw some guy from London posting the tricking group saying, oh, gyms are closed now. Yeah. No, I was just getting good, no more tricks until the new year now. So I know some people are just not tricking. But if you know me, Sam Kojo, no way would I not be tricking. Come on, be serious. If it's raining, get wet. But we're going to give you some solutions, some tangible solutions. Do you want to start off, Omid?
Yeah.
I've got plenty, but...
First one, there's going to be, especially because of like all the COVID restrictions and stuff, there's going to be somewhere that is undercover that normally may have people nearby or whatever, but because things aren't as open or open for as long, you can train underneath a thing.
Are you saying concrete training?
Yeah,
like multi-story car park.
Yeah. Multi-story car park, something like that. Sorry, I'm struggling. Once this little coffee's in me, I'll be fine. But concrete training, just obviously dumb the level down, and you'll be fine.
Were you ever into that?
Yeah, I used to train concrete.
Because I think it can be a lot on your joints.
Yeah, but if you do lighter stuff, if you do stuff that you're, I don't know, that you're better at, then it's good training, but you don't have to be pushing it too hard.
True.
And it improves your overall strength level. It's just that you need to do it in a safe way.
See, now, I take a bit of a different approach at my ripe old age, you know, pushing 40 at this point. I'd say you want to find somewhere, like, let's say it's raining, it's cold. You wrap up loads. Wrap up loads so you make sure you're going to be warm. And then if you can go into a forest, train under some kind of canopy. That's what I do. Because, yeah, it can be quite slippy if you're on that, you know, kind of mulch, bark sort of surface. It can be a little slippy, but it's much softer. And I take something that's soft and a little bit slippy because I'm just training basics anyway. So actually having that element involved, like, oh, I could slip, it means you have to do stuff with even more precision. You have to use even better technique, and it's much lighter on your joints. It's harder to take off if the floor has a bit squish to it, so it's actually like making it even harder to do those tricks. And with your overall approach, because a lot of people ask, like, in fact, I'll read to you some of these questions so we can answer them more specifically. Well, here's a pretty basic one. How could I still trick properly when the grass is soaked and it's cold outside? Let's say you were trying to get really good at double cork. You're about the level where you're trying double cork. You can't quite get it. Now, I wouldn't recommend on the mulch or wet grass or concrete or anything like that trying double cork. But what you could do is you could work on your double cork takeoff technique. Because what takes off the same as a double cork? A really high cork. A more lifted cork where you flip a bit less. So you could practice doing cork as high as you can. You could practice setting your gainer really high, doing cork variations, doing really easy things, but the focus isn't even on like the cork. The focus is on being able to take off for height. And then when you do come round to try and double cork again, you're so used to taking off for height that it's not that hard to add the extra twist in. You didn't have to do any harm to your body. You didn't have to do anything really scary. And you've built that technique, you've built more power. And when you come into a gym, everything's going to seem super easy.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was younger, I agree with what Kojo is saying, but I know when I was younger, I was a lot more scared of wet grass because it's a variable that seems a lot harder to really manage, because when you're not quite as good at any tricks, within your first few years, you're not going to be that good at tricks with the understanding to kind of know exactly what you need to do in order to prevent slip. Even if it's a super simple trick, 1 in 100, 1 in 200, those are still not chances I'm trying to take if I'm going to slip and break my knee in half. So if you were going to do the same thing with the concrete, if that feels more comfortable to you in a multi-story car park or whatever, then just work on the takeoff for a gainer. if that's all you can do comfortably. And because it's a lot harder for you to do it, you don't have to be slamming and like blocking off the ground really, really hard. You can just refine the technique of the swing, what you're doing with your arms, your shoulders. And because it is a lot harder than doing it on a spring floor and even grass, it means you're going to get stronger a lot faster. So then when there is a drier day and you can do stuff on grass or on the mulch, it's a lot easier.
You're on fire. You're unstoppable.
You're actually on fire, and like it's a problem.
Double gainer to split first try. But seriously, it can actually be quite useful. You can see it as a bit of a blessing.
Yeah.
It's going to work on your mindset. You're going to be stronger. Like, don't see it as like, oh, I can't train in a gym, I'm not going to be able to get as good. Nah, this is a chance for you to make your mindset stronger, to make yourself more motivated, more able to deal with different training situations. If you can train and progress in the rain, in the winter, outside, think how easy it's going to be for you to progress when you have gym access.
And if you train these kind of things, it means when you do make the progress throughout that time that you can't train in the gym, it means so much more because it was so much more of a mental and physical battle for you to get there.
Yeah.
So
you got to kind of see it as starting again as well. Like, now you have to train outside, your gym's closed. Don't see it as like you're the same tricker. You're not trying to do, if you're trying to do the things you were doing in the gym and it's going terribly, it's just going to be really demoralizing. You're more chance of you getting hurt. It's just not going to be that useful training. See it as you starting again. Work on your aerials, your gainers, and basic combos with them, and build up through the stages. Trying to do everything as perfectly as you can. Like, really focus on how you do things. I think you can get a lot of enjoyment from taking like one trick you find quite easy, trying to do it perfect. Because then all the harder versions of it are going to be way easier as well. So it's not a waste of time or anything like that.
Yeah.
One of these questions says,